Switzerland remained neutral despite being completely surrounded by Axis-controlled territory during World War II. But how was that possible? How could a small Alpine nation avoid invasion while almost every other country in Europe was drawn into the conflict? Did Hitler have plans for Switzerland? What did he really think of it? And if Germany planned to invade, why did it never happen? Switzerland had adopted a policy of armed neutrality long before the war. It remained politically neutral while keeping its economy and banking system open to all sides. This made the country economically valuable to both the Allies and the Axis, serving as a financial hub, a center for diplomacy, and an important trading partner throughout the conflict. Ideologically, however, Switzerland represented almost everything Hitler despised. The country was divided into German, French, Italian, and Romansh-speaking regions, proving that different cultures and languages could coexist within a single state. Hitler reportedly described Switzerland as, quote, a pimple on the face of Europe, end quote. In his worldview, it was an artificial state that had no right to exist. He considered the German-speaking Swiss part of the German nation and believed they should eventually be incorporated into the Reich. Plans for an invasion were indeed drawn up, codenamed Operation Tannenbaum. They envisioned a joint German-Italian attack. Italy was expected to annex Ticino and possibly other Italian-speaking areas in southern Switzerland, while Germany would absorb most of the remaining territory. From Hitler's ideological perspective, this would reunite each ethnic and linguistic population with what he considered its rightful nation. Yet, ideology alone was not enough to justify the enormous military costs. Unlike many of Germany's previous targets, Switzerland was an exceptionally difficult country to conquer. Its mountainous terrain heavily favored the defender, its borders were fortified, and its military relied on a militia-based system of mobilization known as armed neutrality. Almost every able-bodied man received military training and kept his rifle at home, allowing hundreds of thousands of soldiers to mobilize within a matter of hours. Swiss Commander General Henry Guisan developed a defensive strategy known as the National Redoubt. Rather than attempting to defend every inch of the country, Swiss forces planned to withdraw into heavily fortified positions deep within the Alps. Key tunnels, bridges, railways, and mountain passes had already been prepared for demolition, making any invasion slow, costly, and vulnerable to prolonged resistance. Thanks to this system, Switzerland could quickly mobilize around 530,000 frontline soldiers, supported by another 210,000 personnel in auxiliary and logistical roles. Military considerations were only part of the equation. A neutral Switzerland also provided Germany with significant economic and diplomatic advantages. Swiss banks handled international financial transactions, Swiss companies continued trading with both sides, and the country acted as a diplomatic intermediary between belligerent nations. Invading Switzerland would have destroyed many of these benefits while tying down troops and resources that Germany urgently needed elsewhere. By 1941, Hitler's attention had shifted toward the invasion of the Soviet Union. Conquering Switzerland promised little immediate strategic value compared with the enormous campaigns already underway. Although Operation Tannenbaum was never formally abandoned, it gradually became a lower priority and was ultimately never carried out. So why didn't Hitler invade Switzerland? Not because he respected its neutrality, and not because there were no invasion plans. Rather, because the military costs outweighed the strategic benefits. Switzerland was difficult to conquer, prepared to resist, economically useful as a neutral state, and simply not worth diverting precious resources from Germany's larger war objectives. Did you know Germany had an actual plan to invade Switzerland? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.